The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hey, good morning. Good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad you've tuned in. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us, hey, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. It is April the 7th. It is also my mother's birthday. So happy birthday, Mom, if you're tuned in. I won't tell you how old she is, but she looks great for her age. This segment brought to you by RBW Agricultural Farm Equipment Sales, home of the Rancher Hydraulic Cattle Baron, Heritage, and Legacy Cattle Chutes. RBW Agriculture carries curated lines of new livestock handling equipment, front-end loader attachments, and is the number one dealer for Ironcraft FlexWing rotary cutters in the United States. Hey, they care about the safety of their customers as well as their livestock, bringing efficient equipment to the market, making high-quality equipment affordable for more farmers and ranchers, and the integrity of their words and their conduct. You can find them in Bolivar and in Moberly or online at rbwag.com. We'll start off with some baseball scores from over the weekend. Just 21 games on the schedule. But much as we've faced in southwest Missouri, the entire state faced a lot of rain. And we certainly want to wish our thoughts and prayers out to extend our thoughts and prayers out to those folks who are most affected by this weather. Some folks losing their lives, some folks losing their properties and everything. So, hey, just take a few seconds here before you put your head on your pillow tonight, put your knees on the floor and say a prayer for those affected by this weather. Baseball scores from Saturday. It was Atlanta over Green City 4-1. Blue Valley North defeats Pembroke Hill 7-2. Fort Zumwalt West over Troy 15-10. Kirksville defeated Atlanta 5-3, and Green City as well 6-5. Lee Summit 3-2 over Olathe West. It was Rockhurst over Lee Summit 9-3. Liberty North defeated Oak Park 9-1, and then defeated Benton 2-1. Stratford over Lone Jack hands Lone Jack their first loss of the season, but they did it handily at 10-0. It was Benton over Oak Park 12-2. Olathe West defeats Rockhurst 2-1 in the second game of that doubleheader. Fort Zumwalt West 15-10 over Troy Buchanan. Elsewhere on the soccer scoreboard from Saturday, not a lot of outdoor activities taking place this past weekend with all the torrential rainstorms. It was Corey Zoo over St. Dominic 3-0. Fort Zumwalt South and Lindbergh play to a draw at 1-1. Park Hill South over Kickapoo 1-0. That's Kickapoo's first loss of the season. Nixa improves to 4-1. They defeat Liberty 2-0. St. Pius, the 10th out of Kansas City, 5-2 over Springfield Catholic. Ursuline Academy 2-0 over Fort Zumwalt West. Those are the only scores we have at this time in soccer. Want to invite you to join us today at Bambino's Italian Cafe on Battlefield in East Lone Pine. Doors open at 11 o'clock. Food is usually prepared just a little bit before 11:30. Coaches speak at noon. If you'll come in today and join us and just come up to the scoreboard guy, which is me, anybody can tell you who that is in the room. Come up and let me know that you heard it here on the morning update. I will pay for your meal. The first one, not everybody that comes in. Whoever's the first one in there that tells me that they heard it right here on the Missouri Sports Network morning update, I will take care of your meal today at Bambino's. Great Italian food, and it's a great atmosphere, and really enjoy the coaches speaking. Now, there will be just one college coach there today because Drury and Evangel and Missouri State, all their series got pushed back to today from the weekend rain. So Mission University will be there, and we'll have other, I think, 6 high school coaches joining that as well. But on the spring softball schedule for Saturday, no games reported. There were 7 scheduled, but it looks like none of them were able to take place. On this date in history, April the 7th, going back to 1896, Australian athlete Edwin Flack wins the gold in the first Olympic 1,500-meter final at the inaugural Modern Games in Athens. He goes on to win the 800-meter 2 days later. In the 7th U.S. Masters tournament, Augusta National Golf Club, Jimmy Demaret wins the first of his 3 Masters titles, 4 strokes ahead of runner-up Lloyd Mangrum. In 1943, NFL adopts free substitution rule. Helmets made mandatory, and a 10-day schedule for all teams was approved. In 1946, the 10th U.S. Masters Tournament, Augusta National Golf Club, American Herman Kaiser wins his one and only major title, 1 stroke ahead of Tour money leader Ben Hogan. First Masters in 4 years because of World War II. And in 1957, the 21st Masters, Doug Ford wins his only Masters, 3 strokes ahead of 3-time champion Sam Snead. And in 1963, in the Masters, the 27th Masters, 23-year-old Jack Nicklaus wins his first of a record 6 green jackets with a 3-foot par putt on the final hole to finish 1 stroke ahead of Tony Lema. And in 1958, on this date, the Dodgers erect a 42-foot screen in left field at the LA Coliseum to cut down on the home runs because it was only 250 feet down the line. In this date, 1969, Ted Williams begins his managing of the Washington Senators, and they lose 8-4 to the New York Yankees. In 1970, Major League Milwaukee Brewers, former Seattle Pilots, first game, and they lose to the Angels 12-0. And on 1971 in this date, it was the dismissal of Curt Flood's free agency suit against baseball, and it is upheld by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit Court. In 1977, Major League Baseball, Toronto Blue Jays first game, they defeat Chicago White Sox 9-5. In 1978, U.S. Court of Appeals uphold Commissioner Buie Kuhn's voting of attempted player sales by A's owner Charlie Finley in 1976. And in 1979, Houston Astro Ken Force no-hits the Atlanta Braves 6-0, becoming, with his brother Bob Force, the only Major League Baseball siblings to accomplish that feat. In 1984, Jack Morris no-hits the Chicago White Sox 4-0. Hall of Famer. On this date, in 2003, the 65th annual NCAA Men's Basketball Championship, Syracuse defeats Kansas 81-78. Orangemen win their first title. Carmelo Anthony is named the tournament most outstanding player. In 2008, the 70th NCAA Men's Basketball Champions, Kansas defeats Memphis 75-68. It's the first time since seeding began that all 4 top seeds advanced to the Final Four, as happened again this year. And in 2009, the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship, Connecticut defeats Louisville 76-54. Huskies' 6th national title win with center Tina Charles as the most outstanding player. And they did it again this year to win their 12th. As you look back at over the weekend on the national stories, and my goodness, Duke with a major collapse or major meltdown, and UConn with a major beatdown of South Carolina in the women's championship. Men's championship is tonight between Houston and Florida, both members of the SEC. Speaking of the SEC, The Arkansas Razorbacks baseball team achieved a historic performance over the weekend, sweeping Missouri in an SEC series with a total score of 51-9 across 3 games. The series set a new record for the most runs scored by Arkansas in an SEC series. The Razorbacks' dominance has led expectations that they will again be ranked number 1 in the upcoming National Baseball Poll. Meanwhile, Missouri's performance obviously has been criticized, with some suggesting it might be the weakest, one of the weakest teams in SEC baseball history. Drury Panthers baseball now 19-15 on the season, as they look today with a doubleheader with Missouri St. Louis, and that is at home. So if you want to get out to the ballpark, they played 2 yesterday, and I'm sure they'll get both those games in today. They start at noon and then again at 2. Also in baseball, Michigan University's 22-12 on the season, 16-8 in the conference. Michigan University head coach will be there today for the leadoff club. They're at Mid-American Nazarene tomorrow, and that game is a 2 p.m. first pitch. Just a single game there, and I believe it's a makeup game from a series back on March the 18th, in which Mid-American won 9-2. This will be the second game of that series. Missouri State Bears now are 15-13 overall, 6-1 in the conference. They've won 3 in a row, and 7 of their last 8, including wins over Oklahoma State and Arkansas. There's just 4-9 on the road. They will finish up their series today with Southern Illinois in a doubleheader, with first game starting at 1 p.m., the second game at 4 p.m. Well, certainly glad you tuned in today. It's Paige Becker's stats records. The UConn Star finishes an all-time career at her first national championship. Alex Ovechkin has taken over the torch with 895, goal number 895, as he passes the great one, Wayne Gretzky. And will UConn's Gino Auriemma retire after this championship? And again, Houston stuns Duke in the last 45 seconds to advance to the championship game tonight. We're certainly glad you've tuned in. And as always, the morning update presented by Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank with more than 100 locations in 6 states. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. Also presented by Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks. Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, 12 dealerships throughout Southwest Missouri. As they sponsor our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athletes of the Week. Also presented by the Bank of Billings. Bank of Billings, established in 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. And Doak Propane in Bolivar, Missouri. Doak Propane, for all your propane needs in Polk County and surrounding counties, see the folks at Doak. And once again, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.
The Walnut Street Inn is located in the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammonds Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports.